Hey man, Undertaker.
Yeah.
Undertaker's in the news, man. Undertaker broke as far as the Undertaker is calling it quits. He's retiring from the ring. He said he has no desire to actually get back in the ring and wrestle. And that right there, man, it's a shocking statement. It really is. It's shocking. But every man, every man's got, like I say, like Clint Eastwood said in the movie. Every man got his limitations. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's where we are right now, man, with the Undertaker having that little girl, having his wife. I think that right there sometimes and then also being in this pandemic era, having a chance to sit back for a minute and open your eyes and see, wow, man, I think my priorities might need to reshift for a second, because getting, just say for instance, God forbid, getting the coronavirus for everybody is, it's not the same. So for a lot of people, it's like a death sentence, and it makes you think. Like I say, over the last, few days since I felt like I got this thing, man, I swear, man, I feel a totally different way about my thought process, man. I was I was watching the ESPYS last night, and I was watching Stuart Scott, and literally, man, I broke down and started crying like a baby, literally, and I couldn't stop. I just couldn't stop. I was like, oh man, because he was talking about his little girl, and such a strong dude, man, in the face of, the unknown. Such a strong dude, and I was like, wow, man, my priorities totally. I understood. I understood. It wasn't something that I wasn't, aware of, but it made me feel a certain way, and I'm sure, Mark, man, the Undertaker has gotten to a point to where he's done everything in wrestling. He's seen it all. He's done it all. He's been all over the world many times over. Um, but to watch that little girl grow up and that title be to walk her down the aisle one day, hopefully, that's the ultimate, championship for him. I know it is for me. But to see him walk away from the game, man, I salute him. I definitely give him the salute and say, hey, man, you did it. Nobody else did it better. As far as
Yeah.
going out there and weathering the storm, but more importantly, man, the guy was a leader, man. The guy was a soldier. He was a general, not just a soldier. He was the head general, the guy that we all looked up to, and because he worked harder than all of us. But he was the guy, always to be the first one to say, "Hey, man, let's go out here and do this, together." That's what I appreciate about that dude, man. From since day one when I came in that company, he, took me and said, "Hey, man, thanks for being a part of this team." You know what I mean? And you are part of the team, and him and I right now, like I say, we a couple of weeks ago just played golf. Beat that boy down like he stole something. But that's another story. But no, what's your thoughts, man, as far as the Undertaker finally, walking off into that sunset?
It's weird because somebody tweeted this out last night and made me think about it. They were like, I'm 27, as I am, and they said there's never been a time where The Undertaker in my life hasn't been an active performer in WWE. I mean, he made his debut in 1990. I was born 2 years after that. So The Undertaker has been a constant in my entire life, and especially in my entire life as a wrestling fan. And you see him go through all the changes of the Purple Glove Taker to the Ministry Undertaker to the American Badass, back to the Dead Man to Big Evil. And then, what we saw with him in that Boneyard match, which he called the Holy Trinity, the combination of Undertaker, American Badass, and Mark Calloway. And I remember after WrestleMania, I don't know if you remember this, I remember watching that match and we were talking about it, and I said, what a great way to walk out and say, this is it. You had the match that everybody's always, when someone says WrestleMania 36, you're going to think two things. You're going to think coronavirus and you're going to think Boneyard match. That's what you're going to think about, because that was the match of the entire show. Everyone loved the Boneyard match. And for him to literally ride off into the moonlight as the Undertaker on that motorcycle after beating AJ Styles at WrestleMania and the match of the year or the match of WrestleMania, what a great way to end it. And you're right. He's done everything. He's done everything. Yeah. He's been the champion. He's always been the main event guy. He's made guys. He's done it all. So I think that when you watch this, it reminded me of watching The Last Dance with Michael Jordan. And you got just such an appreciation. Because since he's always been around, he's always been there. You haven't really... You took him for granted in some instances, The Undertaker. And then now that you can look back at his body of his career and realize all the stuff that he accomplished, if The Undertaker's not on your Mount Rushmore, I don't know if you're a wrestling fan. The guy's got to be there. For 30 years on top, all those WrestleManias, missing 3 WrestleManias in 30 years, doing all the things that he's done, making all the guys that he's made, doing all the great moments and matches. He's one of the greatest to ever do it.
Yeah, I feel the same way, man. Nobody's gonna ever top the Undertaker, and that just getting that character and that moniker and carrying it for, this far, man, is definitely a testament to the man. But guys, stick around. You're in the Hall of Fame. We'll be back in a minute.